Okay, picture this. You have the absolute perfect life. The gorgeous house, the designer clothes, and the literal perfect husband. But what if I told you that every single piece of that flawless reality was actually a massive, terrifying lie? Welcome to this insane storytime explainer, guys. Today we're unpacking a story so twisted and full of mind-blowing red flags that you're gonna need a minute to process it all. Get ready, because we are diving headfirst into a mystery that starts with a family tragedy and ends in an absolute bloodbath. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really think about this for a second. How would you react if the person you trusted most in the entire world, like the person you fall asleep next to every single night, was secretly hiding an unimaginably dark, sickening secret? What if their entire personality was just a mask for a literal monster? Well, that is exactly the absolute nightmare our main character wakes up to. And trust me, the truth is way, way worse than anything you're guessing right now. We're getting all of this insane drama from Karin Slaughter's psychological thriller, Pretty Girls. So if you're into true crime, super intense mysteries, and plot twists that completely blindside you, this explainer is for sure going to be your new obsession. We're going to break down this incredibly dark story, look at all the major red flags, and explore the chilling reality of what happens when the people we love the most are absolutely nothing like they seem. So, let's meet our two main characters. They're sisters, but they literally could not be more different. First up, we've got Claire. She's wealthy, super polished, and honestly, a little naive. She's living this incredibly comfortable, picture-perfect life with her hotshot architect husband, Paul. On the flip side, we have her sister, Lydia. Lydia is gritty, she's tough, she's totally estranged from Claire, and she's currently dating a recovering addict. So why are they so completely disconnected? Well, 20 years ago, their older sister Julia vanished without a single trace. No note, no body, nothing. That unsolved tragedy just shattered their family, turning Claire and Lydia into total opposites who haven't spoken a word to each other in years. And this brilliantly illustrates the tragic timeline we're dealing with. In 1991, 19-year-old Julia goes missing without a trace. The very next year, Paul's parents die in a sudden, horrific car crash. Fast forward to the present day. Claire and her supposedly perfect husband, Paul, are out to dinner. They step into a dark alleyway and boom, out of nowhere, they are attacked. Paul is brutally murdered right in front of Claire. Just like that, the husband of the year is gone and Claire is left a grieving widow. But guys, this is literally just the inciting incident. The real story hasn't even started yet. So Claire is just trying to put the pieces of her shattered life back together, right? She's going through Paul's things and she stumbles upon something that completely destroys her reality. She finds a hidden computer hard drive and a stash of old secret VHS tapes. And I'm telling you, what she finds on these tapes isn't just bad, it is horrific. It's the kind of stuff that literally makes your blood run cold and changes absolutely everything you thought you knew about someone. To really set the tone for what Claire is about to uncover, the story uses this super chilling quote from Carl Jung: "A particularly beautiful woman is a source of terror." It's this incredibly dark psychological warning because, as it turns out, the videos Claire finds aren't just random home movies. They are a deeply twisted, calculated collection that preys entirely on beautiful young women. So the crucial point is, Paul was not a perfect architect, like, at all. He was a complete monster. Claire discovers a secret collection of snuff films, literally videos of young women being brutally tortured and killed. But here is the kicker. He wasn't just watching them. He was creating a whole empire. He actually hired private investigators to stalk these victims. He ran a sick, multi-million-dollar underground business on the dark web, charging $1 million a pop to international elites just to access these tapes. The husband she was just crying over? Yeah, he was the mastermind behind a global nightmare. But as Claire forces herself to sit there and watch these disgusting tapes trying to find answers, she notices a terrifying pattern. In the oldest, dustiest VHS tapes, there's a specific man carrying out these horrors, and he's always wearing this unnerving rubber mask. Now, the timeline of these older tapes predates Paul's involvement, so who in the world is the man behind the mask? Seriously, brace yourselves, because this first major plot twist is going to make your stomach churn. The mask's killer in those original tapes? It was Paul's father. And the girl he was torturing on screen? It was Julia, Claire's missing older sister. Like, let that sink in for a second. Paul's dad kidnapped and murdered Julia all those years ago,
And after his dad died in that car crash, Paul found the tapes. He saw exactly what his dad did. And instead of, going to the police like a normal person, Paul took over the family business. He intentionally targeted Claire, wooed her, and married her, his own father's victim's sister, just as some sick, twisted power trip. Her entire marriage was a calculated lie built right on her own sister's grave. No way, right? If you aren't literally screaming at your screen right now, just listen to this. While watching the tapes, trying to gather some kind of proof, Claire cranks up the volume. She watches the masked man lean over a terrified girl, and she hears him whisper in this soft drawl, "Tell me you want this." It's this incredibly visceral, horrifying moment where Claire realizes the absolute depths of the depravity her own family suffered. She realizes she slept next to a man who literally worshipped the monster who tore her sister apart. And just when you think it absolutely cannot get any worse, wait, what? That alleyway murder we talked about? It was completely staged. Paul faked his own death. He is still alive. Now, what's really interesting about this is why he did it. The FBI and the police were actually starting to close in on his underground network, so he orchestrated a fake mugging and left Claire crying over a literal body double just to protect his sick empire. He's been hiding in the shadows this entire time, just watching Claire uncover everything. But now that Claire actually knows the truth, Paul can't just walk away. He escalates the danger to maximum levels. Paul kidnaps Claire's sister, Lydia. He knocks Claire out cold, throws Lydia in the trunk of his car, and takes her to this boarded-up, abandoned house. And his plan? Oh, it is pure evil. He's going to chain Lydia to the wall and recreate the exact same nightmare that his father inflicted on Julia 20 years ago. He literally wants to wipe out the entire family of sisters. Let's move to and see how this builds, because Claire is absolutely done being the naive victim. She manages to track Paul to the boarded-up house, but obviously she can't just walk right through the front door, so she goes totally rogue. She grabs emergency road flares and literally sets the house on fire in the pouring rain just to smoke Paul out. Look at this desperate plan. She ignites the house. She tears through the burning, melting insulation of the garage wall with her bare hands, and she races against the flames to cut her sister free from the chains while the whole building is literally collapsing around them. It is an absolute adrenaline-pumping, fast-paced climax. And that brings us to the bloody, visceral, final confrontation. Paul stumbles out into the rain, totally enraged. But Claire isn't the polished, wealthy doormat anymore. In a purely dark, intense moment of revenge, Claire grabs a weapon and brutally ends Paul right there in the storm. She slits his throat, and as he falls, she doesn't look away for a second. She stares right into his eyes and says, "I see you. I see exactly who you are." She watches the life leave his eyes, finally getting justice for her sister and herself. But the story doesn't just end there in the dirt. Because of Claire and Lydia, the entire global network is blown wide open. Congressman Johnny Jackson, that's Paul's uncle who provided government protection and was an active participant in the videos, he gets arrested and totally exposed, desperately trying to take a plea deal just to avoid death row. And the international elite? All those email addresses, the paying customers, the sick copycats all over the world, they are completely exposed to the public. The entire dark web ring is dismantled for good. This whole story is just a masterclass in suspense, proving that you never truly know what hides behind a perfect smile. So I want to leave you with this question. If you discovered that your entire life, your relationships, everything you thought was safe, was actually a terrifying, calculated lie, would you have the courage to literally burn it all down to survive? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in the next explainer.